shoe video isn't super technical. It's more us just chatting about tips and pointers we've learned over our experience of hiking. I'm sorry I didn't get us in the frame as well as I should have. Hi everybody, it's Rich and Laurel, the Vintage Hikers.
Hey guys, nice pile, huh? Yeah.
Shoes.
Yeah, big fun.
I've been wanting to clean out my shoe closet and I said we can't do it until we do the shoe video. So finally, the shoe video.
It's all about the feet.
Yeah. I mean, you can train as much as you want, but if you don't take care of these babies, you are not going to get to Katahdin.
No.
First of all, a lot of these shoes are not hiking shoes. A lot of them are running shoes.
Right. A few of them.
We've both run, he's run a lot longer than I have, but
She said she wouldn't run unless she was on fire.
I caught on fire when I was 50.
Evidently.
Yeah. So, we try a lot of different kind of shoes. And once we started getting into the hiking thing, we had to relearn that whole thing as far as shoes.
Like these shoes, I bought these shoes about 11 and a half. Merrell's, great, Vince, awesome hiking shoes. And on my way down to Grand Canyon, my feet grew a couple sizes. So I had to change to...
You probably can't even find them. Okay.
Trail gloves.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Saved my life coming out of the Grand Canyon. Your feet grow when you hike.
So that's one thing to think about. Yeah, the shoes that I wore in the Grand Canyon, I actually have two pairs. These are the ones that went to the Grand Canyon. These are the ones that trained. These are Peregrines. They're 7s. I loved them. Then the Peregrine 8 came out, and I couldn't wear them anymore.
They're wrecked a perfectly good shoe.
Yeah, so no more Peregrines for me.
They do that a lot.
So then I switched into the MQMs. These are the ones that I wore on my section hike, and I talked about that. And they were great shoes, and I went into a situation of worrying about something I shouldn't have worried about, and decided to try another shoe. Well, I had those. I've tried this shoe twice, and I do not want to bash Ultra Lone Peaks or Altra Superiors. I have been an Ultra fan for a very long time.
Duck feet.
Yes, these were some running shoes that I got a million years ago.
Flop, 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 flop.
Yes, but what I've learned about
they're cool.
running, yeah, I keep these just because they're vintage.
They're very cool.
And we are vintage hikers. But what you can run in, walk in, what you can run in, walk in, whatever, when you put 25, 30 pounds on your back, it's a game changer.
Yeah, things change.
Yeah, and I bought Lone Peaks a year ago before a section hike, and I started to have problems. And so when the new Lone Peaks came out and the Superiors, I was like, well, I'm going to give those a go. For me, it's just not the right shoe. So that comes up with something very important. Feet are like fingerprints. Everybody's are different.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, even your own 2 feet are different. And so if there's a shoe out there that the whole universe is using, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the right shoe for you.
Just because 80% of the people use that shoe doesn't mean it works for you.
More Ultras. So again, I love the Ultras, but not for me on through hiking.
My fun with Ultras, I started with a pair of the Superior 3.5s. These are shot, worn out. A buddy of mine had them. He said he loved them, so I got a pair, and I really liked them. I wore out a pair of 3.5s, bought another pair of 3.5s, changed the laces, put some heavy-duty laces in them, which made them fit me a lot better. Really like those shoes. But they don't have a lot of cushion in them, which would make it for a problem in some place like Pennsylvania. So at the REI garage sale, I don't know what that was, but it was cool.
That was a yay.
I found a pair of Temps, my size, really good shape, $26. I said, I'm gonna try them out. And yeah, love these things. I took the rock plate out of the old pair of Superiors, shoved it in there, and great for trail running, because I do a little trail running. The Superiors don't have enough cushion for banging on the trails. These things rock. Took them today for a 10-miler with the pack. They work great. Love those. Gonna have those for Pennsylvania.
So that pretty much covers everything except our water shoes. I found one of your
shoe strings.
I don't know. All this stuff's going Goodwill.
Well, we got these to talk about. TerraFlex Xero. Wicked comfortable shoe. Read about them. Saw a lot of reviews. Bought them, tried them, really like these shoes. I'm gonna say something bad about these. They suck on wet rocks. You will die with these on a wet rock.
Oh, that's right. He couldn't even. We dropped off hiking to be babysat, and
oh my
he
God.
couldn't even get out of the guy's driveway yet.
Yeah, his sidewalk was wet. I walked on, I almost flew on my butt. So what? Yeah, the X0 TerraFlex, not good on wet rocks.
Not for you. Could be for somebody else.
No.
You never know.
There's like no traction. I mean,
Well,
you will die. No, they're really wicked comfortable shoes. I wear them to work and stuff. I wear them a lot. I really, really like them. But yeah, I don't hike in them.
Right.
You gotta try stuff.
Right. And you gotta try them before you get on the Appalachian Trail.
Test your stuff.
Yeah, if you've never run or hiked or anything, we have a place called Fleet Feet here in Nashville. You can go in and they'll do a volumetric. They put your feet on this thing, and then they tell you how high your arches are, how high your insoles are, how your heel is. I have some real funky feet, and of course my feet are not the same size. Most people's aren't, but my left foot is smaller than my right. It has a super high arch, where my right only has a kind of high arch. So learn what your feet are like. Now, if you're younger,
they're all different.
Right. If you're a 20-something, you can probably get away with some incredibly crazy stuff. But for us, when we're older, my tendons hold a grudge. And after I tried those Lone Peak 4s, the new ones, they were so cute, and I loved them. But after that hike, I had extensor tendonitis that it took me 2 months to get rid of.
Big word.
So it just doesn't work for me. And if you've never used a zero drop shoe, be sure and understand what that means for you. Like, I didn't have any trouble with the Achilles or any of the tendon issues because I run in low drop, no drop shoes. So that wasn't a problem for me. But
we need to talk about that.
What?
Going from
right, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Learn about transitioning into a zero drop shoe. Altra has like suggestions on their website.
They do.
Yeah. But when you go in to get your shoes,
you've got to take your time.
Right.
Going from a regular shoe to a zero drop shoe.
If it works out for you. In my case, it's not the zero drop that's the problem. There's something else that doesn't work for me hiking with weight with Altras. I am definitely a zebra in a herd of horses because so many people love them. But
I'm a big Altra fan. I really do. When I went from a regular, like when I was running and I transitioned into a more minimalist shoe, a lower drop shoe, I had to go from running all the time in the same shoe to where I integrated the lower drop shoe, maybe like one little 5K run a week. And it took me a long time. It took me a few weeks to adjust, to stretch out the Achilles and calf muscles so that you could do it.
And like if you're a girl, especially a young girl, if you spend most of your life in high heels, you are shortening your Achilles.
Yeah.
So when you go into any kind of a running shoe, and particularly zero drop, there's going to be a transition for you. REI is fabulous. That's one of the reasons why we buy a lot of our shoe at REI. Could we get them cheaper? Sure.
Yeah.
But especially when we're experimenting with different types of shoes for us, they don't ever give you any blowback if you have to take a pair of shoes back.
They're great that way.
And you're not going to know until you hike with your pack, until you hike on wet rock, until you have your shoes wet. Like the thing that Rich learned about the difference between your Superiors from one model to the next.
I'll talk about that in a sec.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about it now.
The difference between the 3.5s and the 4s is pretty significant. I found that all the changes that they made were very positive. If you're a Superior person and you're rocking on the 3.5s, one of the things that I didn't like about the 3.5s was the gator traps were too small in the back, and the upper was particularly heavy and didn't breathe well. They made some pretty good changes to that so that the upper is much lighter. The shoe is overall much more comfortable in my opinion. It has a little bit better cushion in it, so it's a little bit more cushion in it. It's a lot more comfortable for hiking. But I really like what they did. They made the gator trap a lot bigger. They changed the tongue from like a traditional tongue like that. It's just caught on both sides, and it's solid from one side to the other. So the tongue is
which I actually hate it.
Yeah, she doesn't like it. She hates it. But
it folded up wrong on me.
That's the thing about shoes. I mean, everybody's kind of like different. One of the things about Ultras that I don't like about any of the Ultras is I don't like the shoelaces. I think they're too wimpy. So my main hiking shoes, I always change the laces to a heavier duty Merrell type shoe lace. Gives them a lot more on your foot. They just feel better to me. So that's kind of my recommendation on that.
And that brings up another thing too. When you get your shoes, wherever you go, there are different ways to lace shoes depending on the problems you have. Like I happen to have this pair of Torins that I was walking the dog in after I messed up my extensors. This is called ladder lacing. This is to relieve the pressure on the top of your foot. I always hike because I have really high insoles. I skip. And I also have narrow heels, so I lace lock. These are things that you can find online. If you have questions, I can, ask them below, and I can send you to some specific places to do this. But any decent shoe store will show you how to do this kind of stuff.
Lock?
Yeah, the heel lock.
Right.
And we're not going to waste the time to show
you.
There's
whole
a million videos. That's what that's for.
There's 15 different ways to lace up shoes.
Like he was talking about, one of the things he didn't mention. The older Superiors did not dry out. When we did our South Cumberland 4th of July hike and we were in wet shoes, my MQMs were drying out so much faster than the old Ultras. So
when they changed the upper, they improved the mesh in going from 3.5 Superior to the 4 dramatically. I truly hope that when they redo the Timp, when they come out with the next version, that they change the upper to what they did in the Superior. Because that's one thing I'm not going to like about the Timps. But, I mean, that's a Pennsylvania shoe, so I got a lot of miles before I start worrying about that.
And there's something else that just occurred to me, too. When you'll see a lot of people talking about whatever shoe they're wearing, sometimes it's not readily apparent that they're not using the insole that came in the shoe. They may be using Superfeet Trailblazers. They may have custom insoles that were made for them. That's going to make a huge difference in how that shoe performs. I mean, if you take a Zero Drop Ultra and you take out the insole and put in a custom or a Superfeet, that's going to be a completely different shoe. And it may work fabulously for you, whereas the stock one won't. So always be careful when people are talking about a shoe. There may be some customization there that you're not aware of. And insoles are great. Again, those are the kinds of things. Talk to the people. We're not shoe people. We're not doctors. We're not podiatrists. Talk to the professionals and figure out what works best for you before you get to Springer. And there are a lot of shoes that are super popular. Obviously, the Lone Peak 4.0s. The Lone Peaks historically for the last couple of years have been all over the trail. Brooks Cascadios are very popular. Solomon Ultra 3Xs, I think it is. Speed Goats, I hear a lot of people wearing Speed Goats.
The Obos are indestructible.
Obos,
if you can wear them.
I came this close to wearing an Obo Sawtooth instead of this is sort of a hybrid trail runner hiking shoe.
There's so many shoes I can't wear because I don't have high arches, and a lot of them have high arches and they hurt my feet. And that's why the Ultras work for me, because they don't have very high arches.
But again, the most important thing is to go somewhere where they can look at your feet, let you try stuff on, take it home, put that backpack on, and give it a go.
The folks that work at REI, they know their stuff. And, are they going to always put you in the right thing? No, they're not. Because they can't.
They have their own biases too.
Right.
We all do. We all have our own biases.
Like one of my guys at REI has kind of become a friend of mine. He's a sandal guy. He runs in sandals.
I mean, that's another thing. Evan wears sandals. So that's another. Maybe you've got those. I wish I had those kind of feet.
I can't run it. No, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. Oh, and the other thing that we have too. These are they're quote camp shoes, but we actually got the Keens because we can hike in them.
They're a little heavy, but you can hike in those. They're great in the water because they got great traction on wet rocks and stuff. Like
when we were in the waterfall area and stuff, I put these on and they were good. I mean, that's the only concern I have a little bit. One of the girls at REI actually used to work for Merrell, and she said that this particular shoe, the MQM Flex, it was the result of a lot of research, talking to their trail ambassadors and stuff. And I just wish it was a little stickier on wet. But so far it's the one I'm gonna go with. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But can you think of anything else to cover? Because I just wanted to clean all these shoes out of my closet. I'm not getting rid of these.
No, that's cool. You should stay.
But if you have any questions, comments, we'd love to hear them. And again, we're not bashing any kind of a shoe because the most important shoe for you is the one that works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else wears. And don't let anybody be a shoe shamer to you and throw you shade.
No,
if you're wearing
no.
a shoe that's different than anybody
Yeah,
else's.
you gotta let go of all that.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's different. You gotta test your stuff. You gotta get out there. You gotta drive it around. You gotta put that pack on. Put 30 pounds in it, whatever your base weight with food, whatever, and go hike, man.
Yeah.
And try those shoes out.
And also
if you can.
uphills and downhills,
Yes, huh?
because you may find that a particular shoe, when you're like hiking straight downhill, you're banging your toes and it's just not, you know, the toe box maybe not right for you.
Right, and that's what happened to me with the Merrells. So I had a pair of 11 and a halves, and I hiked in them for a whole season, and I wore them out and went to the Grand Canyon, bought another pair, and my feet got big, and I couldn't wear them anymore.
Oh, and one last thing, if you find a shoe that you like, you know, consider it's an option to get more than one pair before you leave, do a little break-in on them, and have them sent to you. Because one thing that happens is they change the shoe.
Are you gonna try these again?
No, not for me. We're almost 200 days. I can't even imagine how excited we're gonna be when it's 100 days because I'm already getting crazy excited. And thank you for subscribing. We're over 300.
Yay, we're ready to go right now. We wanna go.
So, again, questions, comments, please leave them down below. And thanks for watching. And pick good shoes.
Yeah, less stuff. Well, this isn't a good example, but less stuff, more fun. Okay.